Hi there, welcome to Castle World. We are going to scout the trail for last one standing, and this is basically going to show you where you're going to run for up to 48 hours next year. Start line is here, and you basically go for the loop, leaving through that gate. There's actually toilets here, and that could be really helpful if you just passed the line in time and just jump for the next loop, so you're actually able to go to the loo at the beginning of the turn after you pass the start line. So you're gonna start by running next to the shore. It's gonna take you almost a mile. That was so close. Good effort though, good effort. So you have to get through that little door. It can be quite packed at the beginning for the first 4 or 5 loops, but you have plenty of time, so there's no problem of just walking at that moment. You don't need to rush anything. Plenty of time. So this section is actually quite hard after some laps, because it's straight running, very flat, and you're basically coming from downhill and resting. So you really have to get the legs going up again, and if you get a decent pace on this section, because there's quite a few bit of just hiking after that, you're basically good for the entire loop. But you really need that section to be well managed, so not running too fast but not walking either. And if you do that bit, you should be fine for the entire loop. Most of the people actually fail that section and then try to catch up the entire time, but just cannot handle it, and they basically have to rush after and even run in some of the uphill sections, and they just lose way too much energy into it. So don't do that. Run this bit and then just hold on to it, and then you should be fine for the rest, because it's one of the longest running sections without any kind of interruption. Can check out the tower here. It's a lovely tower, also the set of Game of Thrones, so you can have a little chat about it. All right, and here we're turning left. So there will be signs during the race, but we're basically turning left, and it's quite sharp. So here everybody walks because they've just been running, and it's kind of a sharp incline. So everybody walks that section. And then they start running again when it's flat, which is about here. Usually this can get a little muddy, but not too much. However, there will always be that big patch of mud, so you have to go around it, but nothing too difficult. Your shoes will still be clean, and no problem with water either, even if it's raining. That section is going up again, so most of the people on race day will be actually hiking this and not running it, because it will be energy overly spent for no reason. So just save it. It will save you a couple of laps later on. And now we're going to actually across of a public road, so you have to be careful, even though there is basically never a car, and there will be marshals too, but basically we are crossing a road here, so you need to be careful. And we're going on a path again to a section of quite a few S's, and you have to navigate through it up and down. And now this left here means there is an up again, and the up usually people actually also hike it to save energy. You have a lovely view on that side. And we get to the S's. So basically, you have to handle it properly so that you don't twist anything or turn up a knee or something like that. Nothing too difficult, but after a couple of loops, it really gets into your mind and you're gonna start to make mistakes. So to avoid that, basically try to keep some focus, run with a birdie or something like that, but try to keep your mind up so that you don't forget to watch your steps. This is another up, and basically people hike it too, so just walk this. On that bit here, it's actually quite flat, so some people will run it, some people will hike it. That really depends on their own strategy. There's no rule here, it's like 50-50. But then when they get to that hill again, just here, they hike again, everybody is, because there's basically no point of running it. And then from here they run again until the wood section after the door, which you're gonna see in a bit. But everybody's running this bit because it's flat and slightly going down, and then it's gonna properly go down, so everybody kind of ease the leg on it. So this is going slightly up, but people are still running here because they're coming from the downhill. So you have kind of energy coming from the down, so you're good until you get to the next door, to the next gate. If it rained a lot, this bit is really muddy, like really muddy. And then people, half of the people actually start to hike that bit in the wood here. It's kind of 50-50, but the more you get into the race, the more people are going to start hiking this bit. So it's up to you to pick if you want to do hiking that bit all the time or just start to hike it later on. That's a race decision that only you can make. And then this bit is basically S's in the grass and slightly going down, so you can really manage your legs on it and get some work done here, having some speed to basically manage a proper time in your loop. As you can hear from the beginning, there's quite some wind here. It can get really windy, and it's coming from the shore, sorry, not from the shore, but from the land. And it means that most of the time the wind will be in your face. Go. So after that gate, people start to walk a little because they have been running for quite a section, and that bit is actually most of the time super muddy. Right now it's not, but just because every runner stamped on it and so make it dry, and then they start to run again when they hit that road. There is no good choice between left or right here. It really depends where the puddles are, so it's kind of up to you to decide. Some people rather run on the left, some on the right, and depending on what the first one picked, it's either everybody on the left or everybody on the right. There's really no choice. No difference. There's really no difference here, so it's just kind of up to you. So at this moment of the road, there's actually a slight change of incline that makes it more efficient to actually hike. So from this point here, you should hike until the gate and then run again. But here it's actually more efficient to just hike this little bit, and then run after, than just run it all. And the difference in time doesn't make a big deal, but in energy it does. So now we take the S down. As you can see, it's a proper S, and basically you need to manage your feet here because there's quite some curve, and then we go under the road, under the bridge. There we go, the little tunnel, and from the little tunnel we're gonna catch the main walking path that leads up to the bigger house of Castlewold. And when we hit that road, everybody is actually hiking because it's more efficient. And this is the main up of the path. And you kind of break it down into two pieces. The first bit is this one, quite long, and gets until the house. And then when you leave the house, there's the second bit that goes to the highest point of the race. So it keeps going up like this. We're about 2/3 of the first section right now. And then that you're gonna take a left to the main house. There we go, we have the main house. During the race there is water and tailwind just here, so you can supply again. And then we go down those 4 steps, and we need to get up to the main, the highest point of the race. This section is always windy, always coming from in front of you, and it's slightly uphill too, but everybody actually runs it because you need to run here if you want to have a good time down to Castlewold and down to the finish. So everybody run this bit until either the tree that we see on the left or the 2 poles that I'm going to show you in a minute. It really depends who you are here and how you manage your race, but basically everybody's going to stop between that tree on the left and almost the next one just right after. There we go. Those 2 poles on the left and right is where most of the people stop running. Here. Because the gradient rises slightly and it gets at the point where it's more efficient to actually hike than run it. And that's why people do that, so that they can save energy for the future loops. And then we go to the highest point of the race, which is on that road. That's the only road section of the race. So everybody still is hiking this because there is no point of running it. And here you have you could have some wind, but it's going to be way less than before, and you can easily cool down here, and you need to be slightly careful about temperature changes, but you should be fine. So during the race there will actually be cars passing by here, so you really need to stay on the left of the road. They do know a race is going on and they're going super slow, but for safety measures you have to really stay on the left. And now we are at the highest point, so the road is kind of start to be flat and then go down again, and that's the moment you actually start running again for the rest of the loop. So now the road is getting up a little again before taking the left. So you kind of have to manage that. And most of the runners actually run this because it's a small incline. It's quite a small incline. So it's easy to manage, but you kind of have to carry your weight a little, you know, around. And after you're gonna have that section of downhill, so you will be able to rest your legs anyway, which make it very bearable. So now we are about to take a left turn to the mud trail. There we go. So you can expect mud all the time here, whatever the season you're going to run it, whatever the weather, always going to be mud here, and you're going to have to kind of navigate through the poles. Nothing too difficult, but you have to take care of it. So you basically have to navigate the path itself to know which is better for you and which step is actually easier on your feet. You try to avoid the pools of mud, of course, and try to have that more solid ground, which is going to take you less energy to do, so you actually can run properly on it. So this is a first up here, and most of the people are actually hiking this because there's no point of running it. You don't actually need to run it to be in time. And when they get to the top, which is about right here, they actually start to run again. And they basically run again. They basically run until the full end of the loop from this point. So this is another most tricky section of the loop, because it's the end of the loop, and in the dark you really need to watch your steps, watch your footing. Especially before what we are about to hit, which is the kind of steep descent, and you really need to manage your leg on this one to avoid overspeeding. You really need to manage it, otherwise it's going to cost you a lot of time and a lot of energy for no reason, and after 6 or 7 loops you're going to realize you overrun. So really keep down the horses here and keep moving down, and you should be fine. So on this bit, you need to navigate on the path itself to find, the most easy path. Basically follow the guy in front of you, but sometimes you want to take over, so you have to find a different one. But if it didn't rain much, it's quite easy. But that very section here, if it had rained quite a lot or is running during the race, you will face quite some mud here, and you won't have any other choice but to get through it. So it will take a couple of seconds more and a couple more energy to actually do it, which you need to consider, because it's just not for one loop, but it's actually for the full race that's going to happen. So it can happen 10 times, 15 times, 20 times. So we just passed the caravan park, and now we're gonna hit the shore trail, and basically you need to follow the shore trail until the finish line. Quite a few people actually run the first section, and then from that bit, after 42 minutes, just right here, they actually start walking. If you're a good runner, you can do that. Otherwise, you can just... So most of the people here have actually a run and hike approach of this path. Basically, they're gonna hike every time the path is gonna rise a little and run the rest. But that really depends on how fast you did the previous bit. So it's kind of up to you to decide how you do it. But most of the people will actually hike the bumps and run the rest. And a few will actually hike the entire thing, but that's only power hikers and people that run kind of fast the rest of the loop. So it really depends how you want to manage it. There's no true solution here. Both worked, and both solutions led people to more than 30 hours. So now you just, stay on that path, which is about a mile long. So quite a long section for that 4-mile loop. And then there's going to be a moment where you see the houses, which is right in front there. And that's actually the start and finish area. So from that point, most of the runners takes between 4 and 5 minutes to cross the finish line during the race. So it gives you a good idea. You can take a look at your watch, and you're gonna know approximately by a minute when you're gonna finish and what's gonna be your rest time before the next loop. It's a bridge, and now we get next to the wall. Little bump here. And that's the final bump before getting to the finish. There it is. Now you hit the road, and on this road there will be always mud like this, and can go a little deeper than that, but there will be always mud here. But this is just before the finish line, which is going to pop up anytime on the left. There it is. So that pole next to the house is the actual finish line. There it is. See that rock here? It's the actual finish line. That's it for the loop, and you just need to do that until you're the last one standing.